It began like any ordinary morning, the kind you forget by noon. Groggy, disoriented, and heavy-lidded, I reached for my buzzing phone. A text from Emily lit up the screen. The woman I'd shared my life with for the past 4 years. Two of them spent living together, building something that felt like permanence. We weren't legally married, but emotionally, it felt official. We had chosen furniture side by side, split utility bills, shared inside jokes, adopted a cat named Mocha, and spent late evenings planning our vague, hopeful future while wrapped in each other's arms on the couch. It wasn't flawless, but it was honest. Or at least, I believed it was. Her message read, "We are pregnant. I love you, can't wait to start my next chapter with you, baby." 3 exclamation points. My mind froze. My throat tightened. For nearly 60 seconds, I sat in stunned silence, the screen glowing in my hand, heart unsure how to beat. Pregnant? We had never had a serious sit-down about kids. Sure, we'd playfully bounced around baby names. But the real talk? That never happened. And yet, her words hit me like a cold ocean wave. Unexpected, overwhelming, and almost unreal. I couldn't form a proper response. Emotions wrestled each other behind my ribs while my thumbs typed on impulse. Wow. I'm surprised, but it's in a good way. We'll figure this out together. I love you. I tapped send and watched the screen, waiting for her to respond, for the little typing dots. But they never came. No reaction. No emoji. I brushed it off. Maybe she was just overwhelmed too. Processing. Busy. Caught in her own tidal wave of emotions. Before heading to work, I gently kissed her cheek. She was lying there, half curled, hair a messy crown, breath light and slow. Seeing her in that moment, my heart swelled with something between fear and joy. A baby. Us? It sounded surreal. My mind darted through everything. Doctors, diapers, names, cribs, money. Too fast to catch any single thought. I was terrified, but also, somewhere deep inside, maybe I was excited. Then the sky collapsed, just before lunchtime. I was waiting in line at a coffee shop, scrolling my Instagram out of habit, just killing time. That's when it happened. A post from Chloe, Emily's best friend, practically screaming in glittery all caps, "Congrats to Emily and Jason. You guys are going to be the most amazing parents." Everything stopped. My chest sank. And then the photo beneath made my blood go ice cold. There was Emily, wearing the same pajamas she had on that very morning, holding hands with some guy I'd never laid eyes on. Tall, built, rugged. His arms wrapped around her, hands resting gently over her stomach, her fingers laced with his. Jason. I tapped his profile. It was public and full of her. Every other picture was Emily. Them hiking, having brunch, attending concerts. One from 2 weeks ago read, "With her, life finally makes sense." The room began to spin. I could barely hear the ambient cafe sounds, the tinkling glasses, the casual conversations, the city hum. Everything went muffled, as if I were submerged. I stumbled out, coffee forgotten, gripping a street lamp to stay upright, reminding myself how to breathe again. I called her, straight to voicemail. I texted, "Who is Jason?" Silence. I jumped into my car and drove like I was being chased by demons, hands trembling, heart racing, every second feeling like glass slicing through my skin. She was right there, on the couch, phone in hand, like nothing had detonated. "Did you see my message?" I asked, voice hollow. She looked up and nodded. "Yeah, I was going to call. I just didn't know how." "Who is Jason?" I repeated, quieter, more broken. Her expression dimmed. Color drained from her cheeks. You saw Chloe's post. I gave a slow, bitter nod. She opened her mouth, paused, then finally said, I didn't want you to find out like that. It felt like I'd been stabbed. Find out what, Emily? That you cheated? That the baby isn't even mine? Tears filled her eyes. Her voice cracked. It wasn't supposed to happen. We were slipping. You were always busy. Jason. He made me feel alive again. My hands curled into fists, not from rage, but from restraint. Alive again? I whispered. So you chose to keep sleeping next to me while building a new life behind my back? She reached for me. I jerked away. Don't. You don't understand, she pleaded. I was scared. I didn't want to break you. You did break me, I snarled. You lied. You fed me this dream. The future, when you'd already packed up your heart and handed it to someone else. She stammered, cried harder, tried to justify the unjustifiable. But I wasn't there anymore. Not really. Something inside me had shattered, quietly, permanently. I picked up a duffel bag, walked out, no yelling, no dramatic exit. Just a silence so loud it screamed. The weeks that followed were pitch black. I moved into my brother's place, ate mechanically, spoke in fragments, slept only in fits. My phone stayed quiet, but inside, the noise wouldn't stop. I compulsively scrolled through Jason's Instagram, torturing myself with every post, every smile, every caption. A week later, a letter came, slipped under the door. It was short, cold, lacked the remorse I'd secretly hoped for. She apologized, sort of, said she'd experienced loss, and then found something different with Jason. That she was afraid of facing me because she knew what she'd done. She ended with, I hope you heal. Heal? I laughed, bitter and joyless, alone in the dark. She was out there, living with the man who fathered her child, celebrated and surrounded by congratulations and new beginnings. And I was here, standing in the kitchen of a dream she detonated, haunted by a love that, in hindsight, may have never existed. I didn't reply. What was left to say? Eventually, I stopped doom-scrolling their lives, blocked them both, deleted our photos, went back to therapy, resurrected old hobbies. Brick by brick, I started the rebuild. Months later, I bumped into Chloe at a bookstore. She looked guilty, hesitated. I kept walking. She called my name. I didn't look back. That wasn't her burden anymore. I gave myself the closure I needed. Emily's betrayal didn't destroy me. It reforged me, sharpened my edges, hardened my resolve. No, I don't hate her. She's not worth that. Poor thing. Loving only when deception was involved. I don't wish her happiness. I just want her gone. Erased from my mind, my memories, my life. Sometimes I dream of that morning, that text. We're having a baby. The final lie that shattered my world and the first truth I couldn't run from. I'm not that man anymore. That man was trusting, open-hearted, fragile. But me now? I see through things. I question what's handed to me. I don't rush in. The past didn't haunt me. It hardened me. And I made it through. The end.